Intel Sports, Liberia's biggest and professional sports television station, is now located at GSA and Rehab Drive in Painesville. Intel Sports is 100% Liberian owned. It is an exclusive sports platform that provides extensive and quality local content sports programs across the country. Follow us on our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, or better still, on our app on Google or Play Store. For business purposes, you can contact us on these numbers. Intel Sports will remain Liberia's exclusive and best sports television station. Midweek Sports provides you with the opportunity to interact directly with the stakeholders in the sector, the players, teams, including technicians. It comes your way once a week, every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. with a repeat on Thursday at 2 p.m. Midweek Sports highlights major happenings and trending news, as well as captivating action and stories, all in the sector. A pleasant good afternoon from Painesville. Welcome to Midweek Sports here on Intel Sports, Liberia's premier exclusive sports and television station. Today is July 23, 2025, and I'm Julius Content presenting 3 days to Liberia's 178th independence and celebrations. And all about sports, we'll be talking about the ongoing competitive district league taking place at various venues in Liberia. And we'll also speak as part of our package in today's edition with the president of the new name club, Borough FC, Savannah's Kelvin Morris, will be telling us by mobile why the new change of name and plans for the new club. And as our guest segment, we'll have in studio Joel Freeman. He's the manager of competition at the Liberia Football Association. We'll be talking wide range of issues ranging from playing coaches graduation following the club licensing. We'll also be talking about this ongoing district league in processing registration of CAF and LFA, and a lot more on this edition of the program. So please be there. We're taking this break. When we come back, we begin the process. So don't go away. Midweek Sports provides you with the opportunity to interact directly with the stakeholders in the sector, the players, teams, including technicians. It
once a week, every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. with a repeat on Thursday at 2 p.m. Midweek Sports highlights major happenings and trending news, as well as captivating action and stories, all in the sector. Midweek Sports provides you with the opportunity to interact directly with the stakeholders in the sector.
Many thanks for joining us and we're just coming our way. This is Midweek Sports here on Intel. It's where we speak directly with the newsmakers, the actors, and stakeholders in the process, as well as the athletes. As we told you in our introductory comments, the Global Farm and Football Club has officially been changed, talking about their name to now Borough FC. So let's now speak with the president of Borough FC, Savannah's Kelvin Morris. Good afternoon. You're live on Midweek Sports on Intel Sports.
Good afternoon, Julius. Good afternoon to your many listeners.
Thank you for joining us. It's good that we can have you. Firstly, tell us, how's the Borough of New Kuta?
Oh, the Borough of New Kuta is good. You are part of the Borough because you are like one of the like the Borough is good. Borough is good. As a matter of fact, the Borough is supposed to be playing anytime from now in the district league. District 16 will be playing a second match in the district that is SKD Sport. So always be into the SKD Sport right now.
How prepared is District 16? We understand they lost their first game, and this one is very crucial for them.
Unfortunately, they lost their first game, but the team has been prepared from training, from preparation. The team played full test matches, drew 1-3. It tells you how much the team has prepared. It was unfortunate that they lost the first leg, but I can assure you that this second leg is going to be one that will come out.
You played the game very well. Tell us what led to the defeat. Was it a technical issue, or what actually led to the defeat when you witnessed the game?
Well, there were some administrative issues. Some of our key players did not play because our administrators did not do what was required to have them play. For example, Emmanuel Nime could not play the game because we were required to usually write his team requesting permission for him to play. Unfortunately, the administrative manager of the team did not do so in time, which caused Emmanuel Nime, one of the key players on our squad, to not participate in that game, as well as our goalkeeper Danilo Sai as well. So because that was a contributing factor to our loss. Anyway, that's part of the game. The guys play what they had, they did their best, but again, that's football.
You also introduced some new faces for this edition of the District League. How do you see their performance thus far?
Julius, to be honest, every time I have an opportunity to watch the District League, every year we see new prospects. We see kids coming up with new vigor, kids who want to show out. We see a lot of them, and I've seen a lot of them so far in the District League. We are hoping that it can continue. Unfortunately, most of them, once they enter the first league, complacency and other activities lead to a fall in their performances. I'm hoping that they can really make use of, like I usually say to my player, make use of the potential that they have. They have so much potential to offer. There are a lot of opportunities. I'm hoping that those with the potential can really see it that way, build on that potential, be disciplined, and hope that it can lead them to a better future.
How do you see the organization so far from the LFA, talking about this year's edition of the District League?
Yeah, the LFA organization has always is good. Unfortunately, the ATL is not available now. The South has been used. The crowd congestion has been an issue. But again, everybody has been enjoying the movement. I can say it is organized so far. The movement is going on. People are sharing their favorite districts, and we are just hoping for a successful conclusion of it.
That's great. Global Farm, formerly now Borough FC. Could you give us a background of this particular development, the change of name?
Yeah, Julius, this team has always been the Borough's team from our days as club brothers, Borough club brothers. I went to Morocco in 2007, and I remember vividly something the president told me, which I've always kept, that team, the then president, the same as in one of my meetings with him, personal meetings with him, he said, Savannah, this team, you cannot get all of this money from here. We established this team to get young people out of the street, to get young people of this community of purpose. That was the main intention. I'm not getting I'm not getting anything from the team. I'm not giving so much like other things, but I think I'm making progress in showing that people from our community are giving some reason. People are given an opportunity to showcase their talent and what they are made of, which was difficult for most of the guys from Newtown who could not get out of Newtown to find other teams to be a part of. So this team has always been seen as a borrowed team. In 2001, when we were informed that Memorial Brewers that they no longer want us to carry their name, and then I just got into the management. I just stopped playing. Right after our last CAF Confederation Cup, I just stopped playing. I went into leadership position, serving as the vice president for operations. They informed us that we should no longer begin next season. We should no longer use their name or anything related to them. They are no longer interested in sponsoring the team, which was a big setback for us. At that point, we all felt that it was the end of the team. But some of us kept the faith. We had a couple of students who came to us who said they wanted to buy the team. But our team was not to just sell the team and turn our back. No, because that was not the essence of having the team in the first place. Doing that was just going to erase all of what the same actually and labor for in all of these years. So we said, no, we are not going to sell the team. Just think about anybody who wants to get involved with the team, going to partner with us. The first condition is that the team cannot leave from our community. So in all of those periods, we were unfortunately, general manager of Mother Dr. Nelson Odiyama called us to a meeting, calling for us to make his intention to take over the team, which was opposed. Which was opposed for us. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Which was opposed for us. So Dr. Oyama took over the team within that same season. After all the struggle, the team got relegated to the second division in 2001. So Dr. Oyama took over, provided all of the support. We were indebted to our players, paid our players, what were indebted to at that time. We went into the new season. As you saw, due to the preparation we had and the support from Dr. Oyama, one season we spent in the second division, we qualified as champions in the first division. Unfortunately, as you know in Liberia, you have to spend, you have to spend, you have to spend, you have to spend. If you are lucky enough, one of these days you have some return on your investment. That Oyama being a business person and not totally involved with football while selecting our country, now he knew that. He spent thousands of dollars of his personal money, thousands and thousands of dollars of his personal money. I don't blame him when he decided to give up. While we talked to him, we made the reason that we wanted to have a breakthrough. That was not what he wanted.
I'm so sorry. Was that the reason for the change of name? No more support from Global Farmer.
That led to that. After our first season in the first division, that Oyama categorically told that he was not going to be part of the team anymore. So he backed on. We kept the name, hoping that we will have a change of mind. So we kept that going into the next season, the season that just ended, going to end, still did not come through. And by then it was good to have energy. So we had to do all of the expenses on our own. So we went through the entire season, struggling. With God be our help, we ended our sixth position in the league, which was very good. Our players made the sacrifices, our technical team made the sacrifices, and we had to do that. So at this time, we decided now, since Global Farmer is no longer part of the team, what's the essence of using the team, Global Farmer's name? It is better now we turn the team over to what we have always wanted it to be. Since the team has been best give the team to the community.
So
That's the reason why we now decided to give the team after our community.
what are the people now saying now that you are taking the team exclusively to them?
Well, we started meeting with stakeholders. We started meeting with first met with the representatives who have been very supportive of the team out financially, morally, all of it. They have been supportive. We met with the team. We have a scheduled meeting with the governor of the borough. We're going to discuss that. So far, we have had positive engagement. All of what we have done so far, the people we have engaged, I have been positive of feedback we've been getting from them. We are just hoping that all of those positive feedback can help us with the financial aspect of running the team so that the team will not just carry the name forward, but the entire borough is going to have supporting the team.
Do you have some new plans, new name, new plans, or are you remaining on your same footing?
Well, there are a lot of new plans. There's a lot of new plans with regards to good men. We're going to have new plans with regards to how we do. We're going to have new plans with regards to how we're going to structure our salary, how we're going to structure our team, how we're going to structure food. There are going to be a couple of things we're going to include in the plans that we have already been running on.
So if for any reason the people will not support the team, if I said if, will you have another change of name again?
No. Like I told somebody, this is where we stop. I don't appreciate the fact that we have been changing name. That's not something we have wanted to do. Changing from one day to this is a whole lot of process. You have to do this, you have to change this document, you have to change this legality and all of that. That's not something we have been interested in for. That's something we have been forced to do. Now that we've gotten Borough FC, regardless of who comes in, regardless of who goes, whatever the situation will be, on the internal thing, this team remains Borough FC.
Any final thing quickly, Mr. Morris?
Well, I just like to speak to people from the borough who are listening. This is about time that you take over what is actually yours. This has become your team. I remember there were times we play on the TV, we have people from our community cheering against us. It's obvious to expect that, but this is about time that we all put our hands against it. This is not about me individually. I have played. I left the game. I have a different professional life. All of what I have been doing is to ensure that our brothers who are coming or who have the potential, who wants to play, we provide a platform for them to play. So we want to encourage everybody. Let's put our hands around Borough FC. Let's see how we can make it play. Look at Paisley. You see all those things from Paisley era when they are playing. You see the support. You see the people around them. We want to have the team with Borough. That is why we need this thing out of the community so that we can have full support, whether it is financially, whether it is morally, whatever it is, we want to have full support for the community so that our community can be represented in that process.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. We hope to have you one of these days live in studio to talk more.
Thank you, Julius. Thank you so much.
That's the president of Borough FC Savannahs, Morris, giving us detailed information, the background, historicity, if you will, about the change of name. And as he stated, now it will stay as such Borough FC, giving the team back into the borough and calling all citizens of the borough to join and support Borough FC. Some new players, and they are working in that direction. You're watching the program Midweek Sports here on Intel Sports. We have our guest in studio, Joel Freeman, working the manager of competition at the Liberia Football Association. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, Julius. Thank you for having me.
It's good that you can honor our invitation and to be here. This is a debut since we moved from Congo Town to this new venue.
Yeah, it's my first time in this room. I know with Inter it's not my first time, but at this new occasion, it's the first visit, maybe first interview as well.
Let's wrap around before going to some of the key points. You just organized perfectly the National Third Division playoff in Sweju, Grenjida County. Let's give a little tip of that. How was the entire organization process? How do you see the attendance, the players' performance so far?
Julius, playoff is always a tough competition, regardless of the age category or level you want to hold it. The fact that it's a transition between status of the club from point A to point B, the competition will always be stiff. So the final stages in Zveju, we had a great time. The teams were highly competitive. Some of the best teams, in my opinion, uh, did not progress, but we had a fine competition. The people of the southeast, the turnout, showed support to their team, and then they supported the competition in general. So yes, it was a good experience as well.
Your office is I stand to be corrected though, but it's one of the busiest offices there at the LFA because you have to continue to prepare, plan competitions. One of them is the current district league. How are things going on so far?
Yeah, from Zaju, we had to come back, like you said, as exhausting as it seemed to be, but it's a part of the work we have to fulfill. So we've kept up with what we have to do. The district league is not a strange competition. It's a part of our annual deliverables.
Mhm.
So we already had it templated in scope to work on. So far, like the playoff, the district league has been electrifying. Yes, I've been at several games, and I see how people turn out to support their district. I see how the players put in a lot of energy for the district to end up victorious. So it supports our initiative and plan to ensure that our players are active far ahead of the major competitions.
And we still have a very long way to go for this question, but for the sake of the public, what is there in store for players, teams that will eventually capture or win the competition?
The district league has 400,000 for the champion and 50% of that is 200 for the runner-up. There are individual awards which we normally give at the end of the competition. So it's basically cash aside from the intakes they are entitled to.
Do the district register to the
No,
LFA?
no. Districts do not register for the competition. What the way the district league is organized is this. So we're a football association and we have our sub units across the country. So Monserrato, we have several subcommittees that we work through. So these subcommittees are strategically placed across the different districts. So the first thing is to engage our subcommittee officials, share the thought about the district league, give you the platform we have, and then we brainstorm, come up with the formalities. The subcommittee authorities liaise with the district leadership, and then they coordinate to have the district team. We produce a timetable, we produce the regulations, and we go to it. It's free of charge, no payment.
So how do you pay the referees, security, other people? Because you also use fee on gas going forward.
So I mean, there are a lot of expenses attached to these things, and that's where the Football Association comes in with its own financial strength. They're not so easy as they seem, but like I said to you, it's a part of our annual deliverables. So there are modalities put in place to work through. The getting takes, for instance, the federation gets a percentage, and it goes towards these things you see: refereeing, security, ball escorts, several other factors covering the league.
The ATS, which happens to be the second biggest facility sporting that is in Liberia, is under construction. So what are the venues that we are using? And how do you see things going on so far?
Yeah, ATS honestly is our due venue for the district league. I mean, we have to adjust because it's not available, like you said. And we've been using the Tusa field in Gardensville, which have been highly attended. We've also been working at the SKD practice pitch. Like today's games will be played there, same for tomorrow and the day after. So basically, we've been playing alternating the games between Tusa Field and SKD Baptist Beach.
That's the two venues for this year's edition.
Yes, for the district league.
Okay, you're watching the program Midweek Sports here on Intel. Our guest is Joel Freeman. He's the manager of competition at the Liberia Football Association. Just began his conversation with us on the ongoing district league. We'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk about the lower league playoffs and other activities surrounding football in Liberia.
Midweek Sports provides you with the opportunity to interact directly with the stakeholders in the sector, the players, fans, including technicians. It comes your way once a week, every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. with a repeat on Thursday at 2 p.m. Midweek Sports highlights major happenings and trending news, as well as captivating action and stories, all in the sector.
Many thanks for rejoining us, and we're just coming our way. You're watching Midweek Sports here on Intel Sports. We're coming to you live and direct from our Painesville offices and Rehab and GSA, respectively. This wet Wednesday afternoon. Our guest in studio is Joel Freeman. The last time at Joel, we spoke with Anthony Kwekwe via mobile, and he told us about the ongoing lower leagues, women lower leagues in Monserrato and Nimba. How far are we?
We're at the semi-final stage right now. Today, there's an ongoing game. Falconets and Tap Tap FC. They're facing each other, and the winner from that match will automatically qualify to the upper women's division. The next next semi-final match will be played on Friday. That will be between Republic FC and that of Small Town, also of Monserrato County. We started up the playoff basically with 3 teams from Nima and then 5 from Monserrato. And they played through the qualifiers. And then unfortunately, the Nima teams did not progress. So we have
all 3 of them.
All 3 did not progress.
Wow,
we have an all Monserrato semi-final. And technically, clearly it's going to be all 3 stars going to go to Monserrato this year.
So what is the message you think that is sending to the FA in terms of doing more for the lower leagues in other counties compared to Monserrato?
No, if you take the growth pattern of the leagues across, specifically the lower league, Monserrato has some sort of edge. They've played a little longer than others. Some of the teams they are currently were already get there from the upper women's league, so the players might have a little bit of experience, maybe more exposure. So the teams in other counties will have to keep working. Who knows, the next edition we could have a team qualifying from another county.
So does it also mean that you need to do more in the other counties?
Yes, we're going to do more. In fact, the licensing process, not only for senior clubs, the one that will cover lower levels in Temple, 3rd division, and women's lower league, is going to take place in August. We have a team going across 6 counties, so we're going to strengthen the administrative part first with the women lower league clubs, and let's see how it trickles down to the performance.
How do you see generally women's league, women's performance now, unlike before? How do you see it?
Far better, Chief. The women's league, it's growing. The players are doing well, and I was so amazed when I went to Mauritania with the women's national team. You see the way they play, you see how intentional they are about what they want to do, and the results are clear to show they're making some kind of progress.
The results are clear to show that women's football, gradually, they are making progress. As part of capacity development at the LFA, you've been training coaches, the LFA been training referees, and we understand that they are playing graduation on the way. Tell us more.
Yes. So we'll go back a little more. 2021, we signed with the coaching convention, Liberia, and peace be to the artist, Henry Brown Elite.
Mhm.
That's an initiative he headed. And then we've seen changes over time. Uh, the position of coaches educator was also created and is now occupied by Mr. Kesedi Kane, who has stepped in, primarily focused on coaching education.
Mhm.
And there's been a lot of progress so far. Between 2022 and today, we've had several courses covering C, CAF license course, D first, C, B, and now we're doing A. So currently there's 15 coaches who's been training for close to a year. They're in the final module, and if all goes well, Friday, 25th July is the scheduled graduation program.
Also, how many graduates or participants are we?
15
15 of them.
as it is.
All males?
No, we have females, but interestingly, not all of them are from Liberia. We have coaches from the Gambia, part of the training. Yes, we have a female that's also not from Liberia. But in total, the A license we're offering is 15 candidates right now. And then on Friday, like I said, will be the official graduation ceremony.
We hope to be there and also to capture
the
scenes and get more information for our public. And we like to say thanks so very kindly for the job that you do at the ongoing district league. So it's also that you are also preparing for the upcoming league season. Tell us about the club licensing 2025 2026.
Okay, so we've firstly completed the license process for our CAF representatives.
Okay.
We have the Temin girls going to the Women's Champions League, first the qualifying rounds in Senegal. And then we have Black Men Warriors, who will be at the Confederations Cup representing us. And then First Division champion FC Facel will be representing us at the Champions League. All three of these clubs have gone through the licensing process, and the LFA has, through the club and first instance board, have completed the licensing process and they've been submitted and cleared. Domestically, we're getting ready for the league, and we just launched the domestic licensing requirements. Our clubs have been notified. The system is also alert. So we're observing and following up the response in terms of submission from clubs. But it's a more long process. Hopefully by August, we should be ending the domestic licensing and see how clubs can be qualified if they've met the minimum requirements, and then know the next step. But we're all set on going to the league. So first is club licensing, next is enrollment of the system, and then we'll have the league.
So what has been over the period some of the challenges that the club's been facing over the period of this particular process?
All right, but I mean, straight to it. I think staff is a problem. Some of our clubs have full structure. They have people responsible for A, B, C, and D. Whilst other clubs, we have maybe 1, 2, or 3 staff that can turn around, and the work sometimes can be overwhelming. So it causes delays. Sometimes they even forget about these things. I think staff is an issue. The next part is most of the processes now, they've gone digital.
Mhm.
So you need people that can match up to the digital requirements and deliver. Unfortunately, to some extent, it's been a challenge. But we're gradually, making progress. You see how our clubs have improved. Recently, we passed on the DTMS implementation. Unlike before, now our clubs will transfer the players through the international module that can be observed globally. We've been going through several trainings. We're still seeing a lot of people passing the FIFA test now top 10 certificate. So we're getting there. Yeah.
So you will create more opportunities, training at main capacity,
Yes,
so that
yes,
you can get up to speed.
we have to do so. It's our responsibility. While should sometimes we organize a training and the same people don't show up, but we have to keep working. It has to cut across because the thing is both ways. They need to understand and know how to do these things so that it reduces whatever burden on us as federation. So we're always open to providing training opportunities, but I mean it's about how fast and how well you can take it to your advantage as well.
How fast and how well you can take these advantages so that you can improve your own institution, especially at the various club levels. You're watching Midweek Sports on Intel Sports. We're taking this break. So we'll be right back.
Midweek Sports provides you with the opportunity to interact directly with the stakeholders in the sector, the players, fans, including technicians. It comes your way once a week, every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. with a repeat on Thursday at 2 p.m. Midweek Sports highlights major happenings and trending news, as well as captivating action and stories, all in the sector. Midweek Sports provides you with the opportunity to interact directly with the stakeholders in the sector, the players, fans, including technicians.
Many thanks for rejoining us, and if you're just coming our way, you're watching Midweek Sports here on Intel. Our guest in studio is the manager of competition at the Liberia Football Association, Joel Freeman, and we've been talking several issues relative to sports, particularly to football in Liberia. Joel, I'd like to take you back to the just ended league season. We've got at the end of the season 3 clubs who made it through: FC Facel in the first division, Blackman Warrior also outstanding, and the Tommy Girls from the women's perspective, respectively. How was your own observation, like looking at the entire league season last season, especially to see the teams that made it through? How did you see the performance?
You want my personal view?
Yeah, sure.
No problem. The teams performed well, in my opinion. I think we had a little tough period, specifically with the cup. We saw a lot of surprises in the Orange Cup. I mean, Blackman Warrior took advantage of their chances and eventually became champion. There are a lot of names you would have thought about, but then Blackman Warrior emerged. Fasal took the league by storm. I mean, they started the preseason with signings, earlier practice sessions, and I think they swept everyone off their feet and eventually won the league. So let's see what happens next. But I think they had a firm preparation. Determined Girls, on the other hand, I think it was a solo ride in my mind. They dominated throughout. At some point, they were tied necks with their close rivals, but it didn't last long. By mid-table, they had already taken charge with 4 points and then extended towards the second phase. So I think in the women's version, Determined Girls had solo all through, whilst the men's category was a bit competitive.
The league is attracting foreign players, and at the same time, some of coaches as well, and some of our local players also are also going out. What does it speak of the league when you look at it comparatively?
Progress is what comes to mind. I mean, a few days ago, I saw Sam Moses, I saw Foley, I saw the process now. For me, it triggered a path that we need to look forward to. There are a lot of other Liberian players who are out of here currently. Some are still in search of a better opportunity. others are on trial. It could change as well. Um, but I think we're improving in terms of the number of players leaving our league, going out there, and the same with those coming in. We're having a troop. We had increment last year in both men and women categories. Um, Obviously, the women division had more foreign players than the men last season. Let's see what happens this season. Like you said, we have foreign coach in the competition. Let's see what other clubs come with this year. But the foreign players or foreign staff introduction into the league, I think it's gonna increase the appetite. It also has affected the mentality of our people. You see now, there's this zest to always do more. I was amazed with specifically the Facel goalkeeper Savage. I mean, you see, he took the league from start to finish. Super confidence. Let's see how other goalkeeper, other players get through the next season.
Could you care to call some of the countries that, especially from the women's category, that?
Okay, so we have players from the Gambia, we have players from Guinea, um, we have Sierra Leone, and then we have two, I think two Senegalese. Yes, those are the countries. We have players from Ghana as well. Yes, in foreign players in the league. And then we have players from Morocco. I think with Fassel, there's this guy, Zesif. Morocco, yes. Those are the countries.
And so, what can you say in terms of their rating performance to that of our Liberian players, though they've come to add value? Are they dominating or are they making
I wouldn't want to say they're dominating. I think they're making huge contribution to their club. So clearly I mentioned Savage. You see that he dominated the league for him. It's obvious Savage had a very good season. The other foreign players, like Tammy and Time Out, they've come shown what they're capable of. But our players domestically also have their value and they've shown what they can do. So I still recall Heaven Levin has Yusufu Kabo. He's been consistent for some period. I think now he's like period because he's been here like 3 years or so. But Kabo has been one good player in the league. Before Kabo, we had this guy who went B Mountain, striker, Domboya, Ishmael.
Ishmael
Domboya, he did what he could do. Now we see a few on B Mountain. Another players, I mean, in the women's version, the foreign players are dominating. I mean, they're doing extremely well. You look at the teams that are doing well and look for the best players. Obviously, there are few of our girls. Yes, like you look at the determined girls team that have been doing well. In the Gopo is a Guinea as the first choice. In the back line, there's Rugi.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle, there's Mbasi. In attack, they have Joy. You know, so they also have this girl. Forgot her name, number 10, determined girl. So they are foreign players basically almost every layer of the field. And like I said, these are players that have been pulling the strings for them. You go to Shatta also, who also a close rival. Shatta has Mire, who has been outstanding during 2 seasons in the league. She's a Ghanaian, in fact, but she's one of our good foreign players. In fact, she won the best foreign player last season in the women's division. So let's see what happens. But there's, like I said, there's competitive players. We have Jessica Kwashi, I mean, obviously. We have Miata Morris. We have Louis Brown. A lot of players, Liberian players, have been outstanding as well. So they measure up for me, but I think the women, foreign players, has some slight advantage. They dominated slightly for me.
At the same time, we noticed of recent, like you talk about FC Facel, some big names from the national team who played away. They are back and they are now again featuring in the local league, the likes of Zach Kringa and Solomon Grimes and so forth. How do you see their can I say reintroduction into into the league?
The reintroduction brought some flavor.
Okay.
While it's true, there's always mixed feeling. Some people believe they shouldn't have been there. Others believe they should have been there. And other players, it's not just Solo and Sa. You saw Snotty.
Yeah, Lamford.
You saw this guy, Marcus Macaulay.
Yeah, Marcus Macaulay
also played in the league. So, I mean, for me, I embrace the idea of having people of this nature. They help to raise the level to some extent of the players. I saw some of the games where specifically Lafort and Za, I see the impact they have on the younger players in the team, and I see how they instruct them and take them through. They might not have all of the minutes, but they feel they can have. There's some bit of impact, and you see it visibly in the team. Za's intelligence, character, it's another level. It's helped a lot of children.
Okay, this is the program Midweek Sports, and we're having a wonderful conversation here, as always, with our guests. We will take this break to be right back.
Midweek Sports provides you with the opportunity to interact directly with the stakeholders in the sector, the players, fans, including technicians. It comes your way once a week, every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. with a repeat on Thursday at 2 p.m. Midweek Sports highlights major happenings and trending news, as well as captivating action and stories, all in the sector. Midweek Sports provides you with the opportunity to interact directly with the stakeholders in the sector, the players, fans, including technicians. It comes your way once a week, every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. with a repeat on Thursday at 2 p.m. Midweek Sports highlights major happenings and trending news, as well as captivating action and stories, all in the sector. Midweek.
Thanks for rejoining us. And as we are winding down this Wednesday's presentation, we will hit few other points before going. And as we leave from here, we'll be hitting the SKD practice pitch, and where we'll be following events there on talking about the district league. Mr. Freeman, I want to come back to you. There have been some issues about registration. Could you tell us about the processes? What are actually unfolding? Let the public know. Let the stakeholders know clearly.
The registration process can be challenging. It can also be a smooth ride. Our clubs, they've shown strength over the years. They've mastered basic layers, and we believe that there's less issue or almost no issue with registration. However, it's our duty to continuously update, to also continue having refresher so that they keep occurring, because there can be change of staff, which is evident. And then if there's a change, whoever comes on board needs to be tutored how to operate, because we have a specific tool for these things. Registration, for instance, is the FIFA Connect. We also have different layers of the Connect in general. We have the CMS, which is the competition management system for match-related registration. We also have the DTMS for domestic transfers, and the TMS or ITMS for international transfer. So there's different procedures, different processes across the different softwares or digital layer I mentioned already. For instance, you start with the Connect. There's timeline. First, there's this global phenomenon by July 31 of every year. All registration, they're notified. Now, August 1, clubs are expected to begin uploading their registration for the coming season. So it's either you're renewing a player who still have a contract with you from the last time, or you're registering a new player for the season. It goes through the Connect platform. There are basic requirements per individual. The requirements for Liberian national, and requirements for non-Liberian, and the same with staff as well. So what we've added now is a DTMS. So we have a system, we have a situation where during the mid-season, transfers take place. So I transferred Julius from team A to team B. Julius is supposed to go with all of his data log. The club is only focusing on having Julius. Owners of administrators of the club are not going to tell Julius from the genesis of the season. They're taking him from where they've seen him. So it's our duty, as in connection with the regulations, it's our duty to ensure that this player that is leaving from team A to team B lives in line with the regulation and is carrying what he's supposed to carry along. So, for instance, the cards you receive in the first phase of the season should go along as part of the record.
Okay.
The goals is scored. Basically, the stats covering it should go along. The DTMS provides this for us. If you transfer officially through that platform, as you're leaving from one point to the other, it goes along. So whoever is owning you now, your new club officials, will not have to go and search from the genesis. You just need to verify your file as it appeared, and they will see what is it that needs to be done, what that should not be done. It makes it easier because at some point, if you rely on the Connect to do these things, some clubs will target it. When you get anyone like this is this, and they say, oh, no, no, no. But it's easier when there's a platform to just take it along. So we've instituted a DTMS. We know from the start of everything can be difficult, but it's a good initiative. We want to encourage our clubs to pay full attention as they've started already. And
some of them are cooperating.
Yeah, they've been very cooperative. We started this thing July 4. We started the first work session. We've trained over 100 individuals, and several of them with certificates. It's not limited to first division. We've trained first, second, women upper and lower division. We've trained third division, fourth division. Yes, because it's a nationwide thing. There's different points in the transfer. A club from third division could be selling to a club from first division. So the structure has to be laid out in a way that all sides are captured. And interestingly, the third division clubs, they've responded really well. You see the number of certificates. Because the way it's done, we conduct the training, visual, we give you the details you need in terms of theory, but then you have to see the test. And the test is conducted by e-learning, FIFA. So once you're successful with the different modules, they send you your certificate automatically. That certificate is used to create the account on your behalf or on the club's behalf. Unfortunately, if you cannot pass a test, it means you don't have an account. In absence of an account,
so it means you have to
keep sitting the test until you pass.
Wow.
Or else you will not transfer. That's the sad part of it. Because you can't transfer outside of the system. It has to be.
So is that still an issue where maybe at times perhaps people feel that they've been targeted?
No, this is the new phenomenon.
Okay.
What I was talking about was in the past with the Connect, where
the Connect.
Yes. Sometimes somebody you buy a Messi and they're like, Messi has 3 yellow, so he cannot play this game. He has to wait. But I mean, the DTMS will solve that problem for us. But right now, the focus should be on clubs having an account. It's been slow at the senior level.
You want to tell us how many clubs in number that name?
We have 42 clubs in total, first, second, and upper women. And we have a little over 26 that received certificate and accounts. So it's slow because clubs don't want to transfer. We're in a window already. The process is ongoing. So you can tell what will happen.
Okay, but please try to take advantage of the process. We are winding down with 7 minutes to go. Bring us up to speed with the rules and fundamental and the approval process so far as we are closing up.
Rules and regulations. So, Julius, our clubs have the rules, but what they have is 2024, 23, 24, 24, 25. They do not have 25, 26. So, we're still working because every year the regulations they're reviewed, and then based on the course of activity, you want to make addition, you want to subtract certain things, and then you send it down. There's a line procedure for these things to be accepted. The first thing is for the concerned units, as in departments, to review the activities of the last season and then make addition to what the regulation has already, or subtraction. Make a proposal. Let me be clear. Make a proposal for addition or subtraction to what the rule have already, and those proposals are normally reviewed by two committees. It's joint committee basically, competitions and technical. They review the contents, and then if the joint committee resolve on what they have, that document is sent to the office of the general secretary, who will now communicate with the clubs. They propose details for the next season, and then these clubs will review as well. Sometimes they have their points, so they communicate. Sometimes we arrange in-person discussion work session to review counts of the rules, and then sometimes the clubs tell you, okay, 1, 2, they're not feasible for us. Let's see how we can relook. So then the club's points are also noted, and then you send to the executive committee a full batch. You send to the executive committee what the previous regulation had. You send what is proposed for this edition of the league, and then you send what the clubs review and propose for this. So the executive committee now review the 3 layers and finalize on specific details. And once they approve what they approve, the approved copy is now sent to all parties, not just clubs, because the clubs, the referees, the other instruments of the league that needs the regulations. Then it becomes a law. Yes.
So the process, as you speak, ongoing.
Yes, it's ongoing.
Do we have a time frame for conclusion?
Well, I don't want to say something about dates right now, but I know it's going to finish very soon. It's ongoing. These things take a lot of consultation. Yes, and it's about brainstorming. We had some each moments in the league, so we want to look at these regulations carefully and see what are the things that are still applicable and the ones that are not applicable.
Okay, and finally, let's talk about fixtures, production, venue, session, and before we can close up. I think this is very important if you're just coming our way to watching the midweek edition here on Intel Sports. And our guest is Joel Freeman. So close up.
Okay, so fixture. I call it the most troubling portion of the work we have to do.
Why?
It takes a lot.
Okay.
You have a lot of factors to look at when you're doing fixture. You first have to look at the venue. You have to look at the timing, the situation at the moment, the objective of the league. You know, there are a lot of things you have to factor. We have a football environment where almost all of our clubs, there's about 99%, so 99% of our club without a venue of their own.
Sure.
So most of the venues we use, they're owned by the federation. Last year, the Ministry of Youth and Sports permitted us to use the complex. it also added to the options we had, which we greatly appreciate. Now we're hoping by the next season, the 8 years will be ready. We've just completed the Compass Stadium in Neymar. Hopefully, the San Nicolas Stadium will be ready anytime soon or early next year. So, in a year or two, we might have several venues. But as it is right now, we're still working with limited venues, and then there's six basically for now, six venues, match venues.
Mhm.
Yes. So the season is
Across.
coming. Yes, there's six we're using. Detour is an alternative venue, so it's also considered as one of them. Seven. So you look at the game arrangement in first division. There's 7 games per round. Now there's 7 venues, but then the team location. Most of our teams in the first division, they're either around Painesville, they're around Gardnersville, or maybe closer to Central. A few are far away. So scheduling matches has been tough because everybody wants to play in area closer to where they are comfortable. But we've adopted a module that's going to see that we play all across, regardless of where you're from. We'll schedule the games across and make sure all of our teams experience the different venues. Yes, except the detour, because Global Farmer or Borough, you want to call it,
Borough FC.
there's jurisdiction over the detour as the home venue. In the second division last year, we had Bologisi also with the same venue. Now they've gone first division. So we'll see how it plays out. But basically, our games are going to be spread across the 7 venues. The clubs will have the chance to go across the country. You go to one venue and the other. You play a home game, somewhere 5 possible, and the Liberian people will see the league all over. And we're going to play in Bassa regularly. We're going to play in Kanta regularly. We do the same in Kakata. I mean, the same way we're using the Tusafi, SKD, ATS, we'll push it all across every weekend because we want to minimize the hot sun games as well. So once we push the games across, we create space. I mean, like the women, they've been unfortunate. A lot of 11 a.m., 12 p.m. games. We want to see how we can create time this time around so that they have a chance to experience the late afternoon games as well.
And also for the fans to have
Yes,
that time to
give the
attend.
fans to follow their teams as well. So, like I said, the scheduling is a problem, but we're going to work the best way we can. In second division, it might be a little less of a worry now. We have 2 teams from the southeast. Technically, there's 2 venues already out of the 16 clubs. So, there are teams also from Magibi, which puts out. It gives us space to look around with venue. But we're going to have games going across. I see World Girls now. They communicated an agreement for the use of D2 as well for home games. So this is an option. We hope other women clubs can explore other venues if possible. Let's see how we get things going.
Let's see how we get things going. We have to wrap it up. Let's get your parting comments.
Julius, I want to say thanks to club owners or chief financier of clubs in Nigeria. It's tough. It's demanding, I would say. But you see, they've been consistent, some of them. They've been very consistent in providing high support for their team and also pushing a lot of things through for the growth of football. The Federation appreciate and recognize these things. And we're always there to help our clubs. I also want to say thanks to the people who a lot of us do not see, but they contribute a lot. The sub association guys, they work a lot for our lower activities. Same for stewards. You see, you go to a game, they're not recognized like that, but they contribute a lot. Stewards, stadium managers, They help make our job easier. And we're grateful for having all of these people around. Yeah, let's see what the next season brings. For me, I'm all fired up, ready to see the excitement in the next league, ready to see who is crowned champion, who provide up. See how many new players, in terms of young players, we can have flowing the league. Last year I saw Michelle Jackson, I saw Prince Mator in the men's category. Let's see what happens. I saw Beno Yanti in the women's category. Let's see who can pop up in the next season. But it's been a wonderful ride. We enjoy it and miss the mixed feelings at times and misunderstanding maybe, but it's a wonderful venture to be in football.
A wonderful venture to be in football. Many thanks to Joel Freeman. He's the manager of competition at the Liberia Football Association. He has been our guest on the program Midweek Sports here on Intel. But before going again, let's remind you quickly that District 9, as per the fixture, that's District 5 currently locking horns with District 16 at the SKD practice pitch. The first game, District 16 won 2-1, while District 5 lost by 4-1. So they are in a crucial position for a win, while District 16 is opting to collect 6 points from 2 games. And later on, District 9 will also battle District 13 at the same venue. District 13 won our first game 2-1. They are also thinking of collecting another 3 points, while District 9 is in a must-win category. We wish all of the best teams to win, and the best is yet to come. Many thanks for watching. Special thanks to all of those who helped in making this edition a success. Mark and Paul, Clarence, Dolo, Theophilus, Weapla. My name is Julius Compton. Thanks for watching, and please keep watching Intel Sports. Bye-bye for now.
Midweek Sports provides you with the opportunity to interact directly with the stakeholders in the sector, the players, fans, including technicians. It comes your way once a week, every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. with a repeat on Thursday at 2 p.m. Midweek Sports highlights major happenings and trending news, as well as captivating action and stories, all in the sector. Midweek Sports provides you with the opportunity to interact directly with the stakeholders in the sector, the players. Intel Sports, Liberia's biggest and professional sports television station, is now located at GSA and Rehab Drive in Painesville. Intel Sports is 100% Liberian owned. It is an exclusive sports platform that provides extensive and quality local content sports programs across the country. Follow us on our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, or better still, on our app on Google or Play Store. For business purposes, you can contact us on these numbers. Intel Sports will remain Liberia's exclusive and best sports television station.